Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to go over how to identify your enemies using astrology. So I've gone over numerology quite a bit on how to identify enemies, how to look and see who's for you, who's against you when it comes to different numeric trines, and then what numbers get along based off of Chaldean numerology as well. So we've covered that pretty thoroughly. If you have questions regarding that, hit me up, $17 US, and I'll just give you any answers you need, because frankly, like, they're actually on YouTube. So you just gotta look at my videos to see that for free. In respects to astrology now, there's different aspects that we could look at with astrology to see how you can identify an enemy before they actually become a problem to you. The whole point of these ideologies, guys, is that it's supposed to be a science that actually helps you see through all the BS, meaning you should be able to see things that are supposed to happen and be able to navigate around it. It's like having a GPS. Like, I'm in Canada, we use like Google or Waze. I don't know if America and Europe, what you guys use, might be other apps, but we use those type of apps as navigation systems, right? So if I see on the freeway or the highway, or the interstate as you guys would call it, there's a traffic jam or there's construction here, I'm not going to go directly into it if I have to get to work, right? Like, I'm going to make sure I navigate around that. The same thing goes for astrology. When you look at Chinese astrology, this isn't the main point of the video, so don't just skip off this if you hear me say Chinese astrology. This is the most basic part of it. The Chinese astrology will tell you, yeah, you have an enemy year based off of the year you're born, and that year you should treat it like almost like a yellow light at an intersection. Be very cautious. Some people tell you how it's a red light, don't do anything. Like, you obviously have to still live your life, which is very impractical. You still have to live your life and get things done. You just have to be cautious. So you have in Chinese astrology an enemy year that's most dangerous to you. I guess it's not dangerous to me, but you also have what I would call enemy trine years as well, which I've gone over in the last couple of weeks, which is like, if you understand, for instance, like, I'm in the trine of dog, horse, tiger, right? Us three have common enemies with dragon, monkey, rat, meaning even though monkey and rat are not my enemy years directly, or my enemy sign directly, direct ops, they're still ops. They still mess with my ops. If you guys are into the gang culture, you get what that means. You don't mess with people that mess with your ops. So it's just common sense to me anyways. So when you look at that, you start to see, okay, well, that's my opposition because they're linked up. So that's the idea, is there's 3 years in Chinese astrology that you have to look out for. You then use your transit reports to then navigate and see how exactly your ops or your opposition or your enemy or your adversary is trying to attack you. It's very basic. The next way you can identify enemies very specifically, now this isn't about years or times anymore. This is how you identify people you should stay away from. There are 2 sets of people you should always stay away from or be very cautious around. And you should be even more on guard if they're in a relationship with you, in your family, or a close friend. You want to look out for sun signs that are in your 7th house and 12th house. What do you mean, Shem? If you, per se, I have Pisces in my 7th house, that means, I'm supposed to have this happy-go-lucky relationship and it's going to be a fairy tale ending, as they'll put it on Astro Cafe. It's cute. But the reality of it is that I'm watching out for Pisces people. Now, if you're a Pisces watching this, no disrespect to you in any way. But what it means is that in my personal algorithm, I know that a Pisces person could potentially snake me. Meaning a Pisces person could be a forefront enemy in my life, which has already been the case. And I know to watch out for those people. I'm not saying Pisces people are bad. I don't judge anybody. But what it comes down to is that Pisces in my personal algorithm is not the best for me. And I know to stay clear of them when it comes to handling business, dealing with money, interpersonal relationships. I'm not doing it. The same goes for Leos for me. I have Leo in the 12th house. That means my hidden enemies are Leos. Hidden enemies mean they can come across as friends at first, and then they'll snake me, which has definitely happened. Most of the people that have actually betrayed my trust in my personal algorithm are Leos. Now, I'm not saying Leos are snakes, because you could potentially meet a Leo, the person watching this video, and they're the best friend that you could ever have. So I'm not saying that in any sort of way whatsoever. What I am saying is that you have to just simply watch out for those sets of people very specifically. And once you understand to watch out for those sets of people, you'll then know how to then navigate your life and work in accordance with tropical or Vedic astrology, because they both agree on this. The seventh house is like somebody that you could potentially have a very polarizing relationship with, either positive or negative. So you got to be on a very cautionary entrance with them, like how you deal with them. You want to definitely take a lot of caution and evaluate them. If you see that somebody's a sun sign in your seventh house, meaning like their sun sign is the same sign that governs your seventh house, just so you understand that fully, watch out for that person. The same goes for the 12th house. The 12th house, when I'd actually dare say, is more dangerous, because the 12th house is the house of losses. The 7th house is like relationships, business partners, etc., where it's like they can either be like a best friend to you or worst enemy. So it's very polarizing. What I'd say is just be careful. If you meet somebody in the seventh, and you'll kind of know right away with the 7th house ones. Like you'll know, like, okay, I like this person or I don't. And then you have to just follow your intuition. If you have a good Mars sign, then you'll know if you can trust your intuition at all. Some people have bad Mars signs, don't trust your gut, it's going to lie to you anyway. And then you got the 12th house to worry about. The 12th house is where I'd worry about the most, because that's the house of losses. So if you understand, like, okay, my 12th house says Gemini is there. I'm a Gemini. Or like Cancer or Scorpio, whatever it is. You have to look at the karmic lesson of the 12th house like I teach in my readings. But you also need to look at, this person can potentially betray my trust. This person can sabotage my business. This person can actually destroy my life and potentially kill me. It's that serious. And if you actually take it that serious, you won't lose in life. Astrology was designed to make you not lose in life. So is numerology. If you actually follow and go with like the numbers that work best for you, you follow what Chinese astrology or Vietnamese astrology says when it comes to friendly and enemy years, you follow the idea of tropical or Vedic astrology when it comes to what people are going to be good for you and what people are not. You follow the relationship advice, you follow the money advice from astrology. I don't even know how you can lose. Like, as soon as I started following these things, I immediately started winning. When I wasn't following these things and just trying to work a job, and I'm trying to save, it just didn't work. I'm not dissing a job either, but it just doesn't work for certain people, because it depends on your algorithm. What life path are you on? What's your money house is saying? Does it say you could work administrative? Does it say you could be a librarian? Does it say you could be a surgeon? Does it say you could be a lawyer? Does it say you should be an artist? You got to follow that stuff, and you got to see the commonalities between your astrology and numerology to then make these choices. So to finalize this video, guys, follow the advice with your Chinese astrology, tropical or Vedic astrology, depending on which one you prefer, Eastern or Western. But look at that 7th and 12th house either way, whether you look at tropical or Vedic, and then see, it depends on just whichever one you trust more, see what signs are in the 7th and 12th house, and those two signs have the most caution with them if you meet them as a sun sign person. If they're a moon or a rising sign, not so important. Reason being is because we don't know people's exact time of birth. You know your own. Like, so we're not gonna be able to calculate, oh yeah, this person's definitely a rising sign, this or that. You're not gonna know that. Like, unless you get married to the person, you see their birth certificate and all this other stuff, like, you're definitely not gonna know that. So you just gotta use what you have at your disposal. Look at somebody's sun sign, use it as a cautionary tale, and then go from there. There's other things you look at as well when it comes to like modalities and like the elements with the astrology signs. I don't think it's that important. I think what's the most important is looking at that 7th and 12th for both open enemies, and then the 12th, the hidden enemies that can destroy your life. So that does conclude my video for today, guys. If you have any questions for me, leave it in the comment section. Aside from that, like, subscribe. Holla at me for today, guys. Peace.